And what's going on, guys? This is the Club of the Man 1993 coming at you once again for another retro review as we now do the 11th recap and review of my Royal Rumble match retro review series, which I've only been doing now for it'll be a week starting tomorrow. And I'll hopefully have maybe 12 or 13 of these done. I hope to get two more done today. So this is video number 11. We're talking about the 1998 Royal Rumble match. So I'm in pretty good shape so far, I'd say, to get as many of these done before the Royal Rumble pay-per-view on January 28th, which I think should be able to be accomplished. So, without further ado, let's get started with the 1998 Royal Rumble match. Now, this Rumble match, I'll be real, I enjoyed it. I thought it was one of the better ones we have seen so far, well, leading up to 1998. There's a couple, that I've seen that I personally did enjoy. Well, one that was definitely good, others were all right, and there's one really bad one that I've seen. But I know we have some good Rumbles coming up in the upcoming years. This one I thought was another step up. As I keep saying, we're getting out of this era where the World Wrestling Federation was struggling due to the competition they got from WCW and also ECW as well. But this was starting to get to the point where they were starting to do some crazy stunts that was starting to help them pick up more business, and eventually it would cause WCW and ECW to go out of business. Of course, ECW would return in 2006 when the WWE had their own brand of ECW, but that brand didn't go over too well, so we're not going to talk about that brand. This was also the Royal Rumble of the year that Shawn Michaels suffered that back injury that had him retire after his WrestleMania 14 match. He would return, though, have originally just a one-off match against Triple H at SummerSlam in 2002, but his back was good enough that he was able to have another 8-year run before retiring in 2010 after WrestleMania 26. This is also the third year in a row that the Royal Rumble match was not the main event, as the Taker and HBK match was the main event. But this match, we had a lot of stars who are still early in their careers have some breakthrough moments for their careers. I mean, last year Stone Cold Steve Austin had 10 eliminations while lasting in the Rumble for about 45 minutes or so. So this year came in, he was the obvious favorite to win. However, though, he was so over again that that his match with Bret Hart at WrestleMania 13, he literally turned babyface and Hart turned heel, and eventually led to also Bret Hart being victim of the Montreal Screwjob and leaving the WWF to go to WCW at the end of 1997. So Owen Hart now was getting more sympathy. He was more of a babyface as well. So we have him being more developed. Triple H is being more developed as a character as well. He's starting degenerate. Wow, I can't talk today. D-Generation X era as well. The first run with the stable. Of course, there were a lot of stables in this Royal Rumble match. Vince seemed to love his stables, but I still can't complain. We got Austin, The Rock, Foley. We had JBL make his first appearance and a few others as well. So we had a lot of character development in this match, I felt. Some feuds, the star power still wasn't quite there, but again, I enjoyed it, and I think it was the moments that led to the main event of WrestleMania 14, which the result of that match, a lot of people say, led to the beginning of the Attitude Era. So let's get right into this match. The 1998 Royal Rumble match took place on January 18th, 1998, at the San Jose Arena in San Jose, California, home of Bayley. And the winner got a WWF World Heavyweight Championship match at WrestleMania 14. So we started off. The number one entrant was Cactus Jack, who, as we all know, is Mick Foley, one of the several names he used to wrestle by. And number two was Chainsaw Charlie, also known as Terry Funk. Now, for the first few minutes, this is more just like a nice little comedy act. They're bringing all the weapons and whatnot, because it was their bread and butter of what they're good with. Having the street fights, all the weapons, the chairs, and whatnot. They're using the weapons, just entertaining the crowd, putting them over. These two would later on go on to be tag champions later on this year and be close friends. But this is more so just to show them, hey, we can do this pretty much, just to introduce us more to what these two are capable of. We had Tom Brandi come in number 3 in the last couple seconds as Charlie and Jack eliminated him. At number 4 was The Rock, who was a heel now after the terrible Rocky Maivia he was a year earlier as a babyface. As nobody, um, was enjoying the character at all. He was hated so much that they pulled the trigger and turned him heel, and look what he became to be. Just a much better character where he came from a year earlier. Um, so yeah, we had that. He was actually the Intercontinental Champion. Also, he had a match earlier that night against Ken Shamrock, which they were in a feud with. And they would lead to a match that they had at WrestleMania 14, where despite the fact Shamrock won, he would later get disqualified though for refusing to break the ankle hold after the match ended. Sorry, I dropped something on the floor. So he came in, and The Rock was one person who also again had like a breakout performance in this Royal Rumble match. Number 5 was Mosh, followed by a Phineas I Godwin at number 6. Number 7 was 8 Ball, and then due to just him ducking to get out of the way, Chainsaw Charlie would unintentionally eliminate Cactus Jack. But it's not the last time we would see Foley for a night. Foley also made history in this Royal Rumble match as well. But we had that elimination. It's only the second elimination of the match. Number 8 was Blackjack Bradshaw, who we all know as JBL. JBL literally had like this big, thick-looking beard and mustache going. I'm like, I never knew he had this gimmick at all, but it looked kind of cool. I'll be honest. But of course, I still don't like JBL. So he came into the match at number 8, followed by now number 9. Owen Hart was supposed to come into the match at number 9. However, he was attacked on the ramp by Jeff Jarrett and Jim Cornette. So because of that, Owen Hart did not enter the Rumble match quite yet, but he was attacked by them as well. It would set up for stakes for what happened later on in that evening. So he was attacked by Jeff Jarrett. He did not go in. Number 10 was Steve Blackman, followed by number 11, another member of the Nation of Domination, D'Lo Brown. Number 12 was Kurgan, who was pretty much a great Khali, 7 feet tall, 350 pounds. He was Canadian. He would go in there and eliminate Mosh. Number 13 was Mark Miro. Kurgan would then eliminate Steve Blackman. Number 14 was Ken Shamrock. Again, as I said before, was in the midst of a feud with The Rock. Again, it would lead to another match at WrestleMania 14, where again Shamrock would win the match, but then would get disqualified for refusing to break the ankle hold on The Rock because of the tension they've been having. But the feud was built very well. And when Shamrock came in, he took part in a 1, 2, 3, 4-person elimination to eliminate Kurgan. Once again, great calling him pretty much in this Rumble. Number 15 was one of the headbangers, Thrasher. 16 was, we saw him earlier as Cactus Jack, but Mankind, Mick Foley. He came into the match again for the second time today, but this time it was the second name he would wrestle by, Mankind. He would go in and he would eliminate Chainsaw Charlie. So that'd be it for him. Number 17 was Goldust. But he wasn't Goldust. He wasn't just, regular gold man who would appear, Dustin Rhodes, as we all know. He was the artist formerly known as Goldust. He came out with his blue hair, orange shoes, just this goofy looking thing. He was a heel, just showing off how bizarre he could probably be. So he came out at number 17, and he would eliminate Mankind. Now, number 18 was Jeff Jarrett. When he came out, though, Owen Hart would come out and also attacking from behind. They would brawl a little bit in the ring before Owen Hart would then eliminate Jarrett. Again, this time, Owen Hart was a babyface after, what happened with Bret Hart walking out. So they gave some more sympathy for the Black Heart, as they would call him. So he would, though, come out now and enter the match, and he would eliminate Jeff Jarrett. Number 19 was the Honky Tonk Man, who came out number 19. The Rock, after still brawling with Ken Shamrock, came their feud. He eliminated Shamrock, but then as the Honky Tonk Man was coming to the ring, out came Triple H, who was on crutches. He was the current European champion, and out with him was Chyna, 2 members of D-Generation X. He came out, though, and they came out to target Owen Hart. And when they got to the ring, they Chyna took one of Triple H's crutch and went to attack Hart from ringside. He would block it, but then Triple H would then hit Hart with his crutch, and it would cause the elimination. This would then set up to a match for European Championship between Triple H and Owen Hart at WrestleMania 14, but Chyna was supposed to be handcuffed to Sergeant Slaughter during the match. Unfortunately, it didn't go as well, as it still didn't play a factor, as Triple H would retain against Owen Hart. But that's what happened there. Set up that match there as well. Number 20 was Ahmed Johnson, who was just in terrible shape at this time in his career. Number 21 was also, I didn't realize he was a member of Nation of Domination as well, and in the Rumble match just early, Mark Henry, the world's strongest man, making his first appearance in the Royal Rumble match. Now, a fact I read somewhere also, Mark Henry had 2 eliminations in this match, but it was the only 2 eliminations in his entire career he ever had in the Royal Rumble match. Showed how well they really booked him throughout his career in WWE. Number 22 was supposed to be Skull, but he did not enter due to an earlier attack because Stone Cold Steve Austin was, despite being the heavy favorite to win, people were still just targeting him, and he was, just making his statement saying, hey, I'm going to win this match, as people appreciate, about Stone Cold Steve Austin. He still did, bad things, but maybe babyface, he was so over, people were so entertained by him, that's what made him so popular. But Skull was mistaken for Stone Cold Steve Austin, so he was attacked, and then he was not able to enter the match at number 22. We would then have Johnson be eliminated by D'Lo Brown and Mark Henry, and then Henry would also eliminate Phineas Godwin also. Number 23 was Kama Mustafa, and number 24, to a big pop, Stone Cold Steve Austin entered. They kept teasing a couple of times that he was going to be entering at a certain time as well. They knew he was coming, but they didn't know when he was coming at all. And when he came, he didn't come into the ring down the ramp. He came in from the crowd, and I know some people said in their comments that they would like to see more people target Austin. Some people did, but then he would they kind of would like go off on their own separate routes. But like they always, they could have probably done a little bit more targeting Austin in this match, making it more so Austin versus the World, which it still somewhat was, but it was all right. There was a point in this match also where I'm trying to remember who came out, when somebody came out. I think it was when Farouk came out. But we'll talk about that shortly, actually. But he came out, and Austin eliminated Miro and 8-Ball. Henry O. Godwin came out number 25, and then it was either when Savio Vega entered number 26 or when Farouk entered number 27, because they originally went after The Rock, but then The Rock and Austin went under the ropes and outside the ring. They started brawling with each other outside the ring, which kind of sets some, heat up for one of the best feuds we get down the line for 3 very great WrestleMania matches between The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin, especially that main event match of WrestleMania 17, the best WrestleMania of all time. They would brawl outside the ring again, to stacking the odds against Austin, who was the big favorite to win, and Rock is developing more heel tactics. He would take out Austin the stairs to the point where he hopefully get back to the ring and dump him out. But yeah, after Savio Vega number 26 and Farouk number 27, we had Dude Love at number 28. Who is that? That's Mick Foley again in another one of his wrestling gimmicks, Dude Love. For the only time they had a wrestler appear with 3 different gimmicks in a match. So I'm sure you cannot pull this off again, though. So Foley came out number 28 as Dude Love, and he would then eliminate Blackjack Bradshaw. Number 29 was Chains, and then number 30 was Vader, who was a babyface at this point, and he was in a feud with Goldust at this time. And then there was, despite being a good Rumble, there was always a lot of people in the ring at the same time. There were 12 people, I believe, in the ring at this time when Vader entered the Royal Rumble match. So then we would have Farouk eliminate D'Lo Brown. Vader would eliminate the Honky Tonk Man. Austin eliminate Kama and Thrasher. Austin would also eliminate Savio Vega. And then we'd have Goldust eliminate Vader. And then Dude Love eliminate Henry O. Godwin. And then Chains would eliminate Goldust. And then Austin eliminate Chains. And then Farouk would then eliminate Mark Henry. So the final 4 was a pretty stacked final 4 here. We had Stone Cold Steve Austin, Dude Love, Mick Foley, Farouk, and The Rock. So at least 3, good potential, candidates to win this match. Farouk would then eliminate Dude Love, and then The Rock seemed to just be chilling in the corner watching Austin and Farouk go at it, seeing that Farouk could have eliminated The Rock. I mean Austin, but then The Rock sees him from behind and eliminates Farouk. Because Austin wanted to be the one to eliminate Stone Cold Steve Austin and win this match. As The Rock had been there for quite some time. The Rock was in his match the longest, actually, out of everybody. So him and Austin would go at it. Austin almost eliminated The Rock. Didn't quite work out. But for the first time out several times, Austin hit a sick-looking stunner on The Rock, and The Rock would always sell those stunners pretty darn good. I mean, not as good as I feel in this match as I see him in other WrestleMania matches sell it, but he still sold this stunner pretty good. And then The Rock would then be eliminated like Stone Cold Steve Austin. And for the second year in a row, Stone Cold Steve Austin wins the Royal Rumble match. He would go on to WrestleMania 14 and face Shawn Michaels, which would then be Shawn Michaels' final match until SummerSlam in 2002, whenever he would return from his severe career-ending back injury. And again, this led to the birth of the Attitude Era. But again, we still had great shows by The Rock, who would go on to feud with Ken Shamrock for Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania 14. We had Mick Foley, make his first, second appearance in the Rumble, but he made some appearances as different gimmicks and just showed how, popular and great of a talent he was going to be as well. The match between Triple H and Owen Hart being said, they had a pretty good European title match at WrestleMania 14 as well. So we got a lot of character development in this match, I felt, for the most part. It still wasn't the most stacked Rumble, probably not, but it was still, to me, a very successful Royal Rumble match as well, and it even made Stone Cold Steve Austin a more legit main eventer. Give him up that level as well. So let's go in order by entrance and their times and eliminations. Number 1, Cactus Jack, 9:21, 1 elimination. Chainsaw Charlie, 25:19, 2 eliminations. Tom Brandi, only 12 seconds, no eliminations. The Rock at number 4 with a 51:32 time, 2 eliminations. Mosh, 13:09, no eliminations. Number 6 was Phineas I. Godwin, 28:48, 1 elimination. Number 7 was 8 Ball. He did it in there for 30 minutes and 43 seconds, 1 elimination. Blackjack Bradshaw was in there for 35 minutes and 45 seconds, 1 elimination. Number 9 was Owen Hart. He was in there for 2 minutes. He should have been in there for longer, though, but he didn't enter the Rumble until when Jeff Jarrett entered, but he still got 1 elimination in 2 minutes he was in there. Steve Blackman was in there for 5 minutes and 58 seconds, no eliminations. D'Lo Brown was in there for 32 minutes and 21 seconds with 1 elimination. Number 12 was Kurgan. He was in there for 3:38, 2 eliminations. Number 13, Mark Miro, 19:38, no eliminations. Number 14 was Ken Shamrock, 9:15, 1 elimination. Number 15 was Thrasher, 28:08, no eliminations. Number 16 was Mankind, 2:07, 1 elimination. Number 17 was Goldust, 26:01, 2 eliminations. Number 18 was Jeff Jarrett, a minute 5, no eliminations. Number 19 was the Honky Tonk Man, 19:55, no eliminations. 20 was Ahmed Johnson, very bad shape, 3:18, no eliminations. Number 21 was Mark Henry, 19:07, 2 eliminations. Number 22 was supposed to be Skull, but he was unable to compete due to a backstage attack, so no time, no eliminations. Number 23 was Kama Mustafa, 13:58, no eliminations. Number 24 was Stone Cold Steve Austin, 15:58, 7 eliminations. Number 25 was Henry O. Godwin, 11:32, no eliminations. Number 26 was Savio Vega, 9:29, no eliminations. Number 27 was Farouk, 10:03, 3 eliminations, not too bad. Dude Love, again, Mick Foley, at number 28, 7:53, 2 eliminations. Number 29 was Chains, 4:56, 1 elimination. Number 30 was Vader, 2 minutes and 15 seconds, 1 elimination. So the best for this Rumble, we had, again, the winner was Stone Cold Steve Austin. The longest time, though, was The Rock with 51 minutes and 32 seconds, and the most eliminations by Stone Cold Steve Austin was 7. The total duration of this match was 55 minutes and 25 seconds. Overall, again, despite the fact that the star power was still a little bit low, we saw a lot more new character development as well in the wrestlers this match. So I still enjoyed this Royal Rumble match for what it was. I thought it was a pretty strong one. It eventually led to the birth of the Attitude Era again for Stone Cold Steve Austin, winning the World Wrestling Federation World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 14 against the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. So I'm going to give this Royal match a B. A strong B for the 1998 Royal Rumble match. What grade would you give this Royal Rumble match? Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. And be sure as always click that like and subscribe button. More content to come to this channel and follow me on Twitter, DemandAirborne93. I will hopefully be able to do two more, maybe a third one, but at least probably 2 more of these reviews today. And then this week I'll be doing my live reviews of Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. I'm going to try to get back into doing the Shabs 2000 Let's Plays as well. I just wanted to get a good start on this Rumble series this week. But, yep, still a lot to come to this channel as always, so please stay tuned. And with that, I'm checking out. And until then, guys, have a great Sunday.